Make sure your heater's ready for the cold weather. Get a system checkup today for only $49 and get $50 in Premier Bucks to be used towards your next repair. Premier Heating and Air offers free second opinions, so call today and experience the Premier difference. Log on to DublinPremierIsHere.com or call 300-2633. Premier Heating and Air is a locally owned and operated company. Certain restrictions may apply. Specials cannot be combined with other offers. Offer ends 11/30/24.
Good morning and welcome to our Veterans Day program. Thank you for being here. The very first thing we want to do before we get started with the festivities is honor the very people we're here to acknowledge, and that's our veterans. So if you're a veteran, if you can please stand up. If not, just raise your hand for us. All right, thank you. So why Veterans Day program, folks? Well, my feeling is that we need to honor America's heroes every day, every chance we get. When you meet a veteran somewhere, take a second to say thank you, because that's what they live for. Why? Because they made a commitment to this nation, and when you say thank you, they know that commitment was worthwhile. When we're here doing things like we're doing today, guess what? There's folks out there in the air, on walls, they're on the ocean, they're all over the place defending our interests. They never sleep. It's 24/7, 365. And it has to be that way. The only way a democratic nation like ours can survive is if we have warriors out there defending our interests, and that's what they do, and that's why we have Veterans Day. So while we should honor them every day, every chance we get, at least one day a year on Veterans Day, we get a chance to do it formally, and that's what this program's all about. And I'm going to ask folks on the stage to go ahead and take a seat. Now, folks, if you are able to stand, we're going to have the presentation of the colors. Our West Lawrence High School ROTC Honor Guard is going to present those colors.
Present arms. Folks, one of the cool things about this program today is we have so many young people involved. We have the West Lawrence High ROTC and we got the East Lawrence High Band here, and they did a fantastic job.
The thing about our nation is the very best of us is transmitted generationally. If we don't transmit it generationally, it won't happen. So we got to remember that. We got to get the young people involved so they know what to do next. When we're gone, they'll be here to carry on. All right, next we're going to have Miss Harriet Claxton, who's going to render our lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the American's Creed. And if you have a program, you'll see the creed on back of it. Miss Harriet?
I believe in the United
States of America, as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend against all enemies. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God of love and God of mercy, creator of mankind and author of peace, as we are ever mindful of the cost paid for the liberty we possess, we ask that you bless the members of our armed forces. Give them courage, hope, and strength. May our veterans ever experience your firm support, gentle love, and compassionate healing. Be their power and protector, leading them from darkness to light, to be all the glory, honor, and praise, now and forever. Amen.
At Bank of Dudley, we're your community, your bank. And with 7 branches to serve you, there's a Bank of Dudley close by. And there's a familiar face close by. The same familiar faces that you've seen for many years. The same people that you've grown to trust. Because that's what community banking is all about. 7 branches, local people, local decisions, local banking. That's the Bank of Dudley, serving our community since 1905.
We invite y'all to come down to Holy Smokes Barbecue, Dublin's fresh everyday barbecue source. 1100 Hillcrest Parkway, 272 Ribs. You can place your orders online, dublinbbq.com. We're all about faith, family, and friends. And remember, life's too short to eat bad barbecue. We're so thankful for you, Dublin. You guys have been so good to us, and we just want to invite you guys just to come on and experience what we think good barbecue is.
Good morning, everyone. When Frank started, I was going to have the veterans stand up if they could. So instead of having to stand up again, I do want to recognize all the veterans in the house. So if you would, if you can, stand up. If you can't, raise your hand. Let's get another round of applause for our nation's heroes. Today is all about you, veterans. What you've done for our nation as well, and how well you did it. So welcome, and welcome your families and your friends as well. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Our nation's veterans, men and women who've worn our country's uniforms, fought and served to make our freedoms and our way of life possible. And for that, we have an obligation to all of them. Presidents often speak of that obligation to our nation's one true sacred obligation is to prepare and equip our troops we send into harm's way, care for them and their families when they return home. The second part of that obligation, caring for the veterans and their families when they return home, is our primary mission here at the VA. It is our job, our responsibility to serve veterans, families, caregivers, survivors, as well as they have served us, as well as they have served our country. Yet today, Veterans Day, is something more. It's all a call to action for each of us through the vets throughout the year. It's a great opportunity for all of us to sincerely renew our commitment to those who have served. In countless ceremonies like this one across the country, America is honoring veterans, patriots who have served the wars of our independence and have stood watch over and defend our liberty. From Bunker Hill to Baghdad, to Kingsman's Mountain and Kandahar, we are the beneficiaries of their courage, their determination to uphold democracies or democratic beliefs on which our nation was founded. America has been blessed as our country and our history of the world. The sacrifices of our armed forces have given us security and freedom for which to grow and flourish as a nation in law, human rights, business, economics, in science, technology, education, and in the arts. They have established the United States to stand as a beacon of hope and freedom for others across the world, drawing millions to our shores as a model of democracy for the world. Many of you in attendance will have attended other Veterans Day ceremonies. But here we remember our American heroes today on November 11th, because the 11th hour of the 11th month in 1918, the guns of the Great War, the war to end all wars, fell silent. But as we know, this was sadly not the last fight. Nazism, fascism rose much of the world, extended, and 16 million American men and women stepped forward and fought tyranny in World War II. They overcome enemies, leading us into the victories. Unsuppressed world leadership and influence. They did so again in the frozen mountains of Korea, in the humid jungles and rice paddies of Vietnam, in the sands and deserts of Desert Storm, in the brutal mountains and the battles of Afghanistan, and the populated cities of Iraq. That is the story of American veterans, ordinary men and women stepping forward to win and preserve our independence and to help others who experience the dark oppression of tyranny. Today we remember all of them. They donned their uniforms, they laid their lives on line for each of us to allow us to have the opportunity to enjoy the blessings of freedom. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, National Guardsmen, Coast Guardsmen, who stepped forward and answered the call of arms. Today is certainly a special day for those of us in the Department of Veteran Affairs. We've dedicated to serve the needs of more than 18 million men and women living across today who have served our nation's armed forces. The VA can trace our allegiance as a department to President Abraham Lincoln's devotion to veterans and a steadfast belief that service must be justly recognized and honored by a grateful nation. Almost 160 years after Abraham Lincoln described his national promise to the veterans on the second inaugural address, the President and the Secretary of Veteran Affairs are committed to fulfilling that promise is stronger than ever. In improving access to care, fulfillment and enhancement of the PACT Act, and more burial options for veterans when they reach the end of their lives, and ensuring that every man and woman who's fought in America has a home in America. At the Department of Veteran Affairs, we repay the nation, as a nation, its debts, and who have served. We repay the nation and those who oppose the debt. At the VA, we strive to keep our covenant with the veterans each day. At the VA, we seek consistency to build trust with these veterans, because fulfillment of the covenant and to build trust helps achieve our vision, providing more care, more benefits, more veterans than ever. That is our goal. It is our goal and vision and future. Because success in those endeavors means less suffering for those who gave so much to America and to all of us, many of whom can't escape lifelong physical and invisible wounds of war and the service that they bear on behalf of all of us. We help mend the bodies, the spirits of veterans who fought our battles and who served times of restless peace between wars. We assist families as they go through after the loss of loved ones. We see veterans at the end of life with dignity and honorable burials and the thanks of a grateful nation. At hundreds of VA hospitals, outpatient clinics, vet centers, telehealth sites, benefit offices, we work with compassion and respect, putting veterans first. A grateful nation expects nothing less. Thank you for attending this holiday ceremony. Your presence and remembrance of the words of grace, gratitude to our active duty troops and our veterans support of all of them reinforces the covenant between America and the men and women who protect and defend her. We do this because we recognize the basic truth. The deeds of America's veterans binds us in a noble past, strengthens us in a difficult present, and inspires us to meet future challenges as we may face in our nation. Thank you all. God bless our veterans, and God bless America.
Don Carswell here with Dublin Chevy GMC in Dublin, Georgia. On behalf of our whole team here, I would like to give a heartfelt thank you to everyone who helped in us raising over $3,000 for breast cancer treatment during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
Charmaine Turner, the founder of Excelling Wellness Coaching and Counseling, is a certified Life Health Corporation wellness coach with a background in public health and psychiatry and an Air Force veteran. Thank you for your service. Charmaine specializes and guides veterans and professionals towards a life of resiliency, balance, and health. She draws on her own military experience to speak in a unique challenge veterans face, from adapting to civilian life and managing mental and physical health. A transition from my military to civilian life as we all know, is definitely a challenge. Thank you for that. Her mission is to empower veterans of all ages, embracing wellness in every area of life, including physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Though her compassion and no-nonsense approach, Charmaine provides the tools and strength to veterans needed to take change in their health and thrive for years to come. So everybody would help me welcome Ms. Charmaine Turner.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for that introduction. You did great on the fly. So today we have heard about the VA and different benefits and all of those different things that we hear all the time. I'm here to talk to the veterans. I'm here to speak to each one of you because I feel that we serve our time, we focus on the mission, and then when it's time to leave, we face so many challenges. We're not prepared. So I love the fact that we have a multi-generational audience here, some of the youngsters, all the way up to our seasoned veterans, as I'll call it. I want to speak to you because many times we feel like the mission is done when we leave, and it's not. So today I want to be your reminder that you still have a mission. You still have a mission. This weekend I saw a statistic about suicide rates amongst veterans, and it breaks my heart when I read those numbers. I've seen it range from 17 to 24 veterans a day. And I can only imagine the challenges that they are going through to come to that decision. You can't speak really about being a veteran if you've not been in the boots, if you've not worn the uniform. And so I'm honored that I was able to spend 11 years in my uniform. So I want to share a little bit about how I got to this place, and then I want to offer some encouragement to you all going forward, because it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 89, you still have a mission. You still have something to offer. The military has afforded you and taught you and given you training and skills and so much more that you can still share, and we need to hear that. So let me take you back to 2003. 2003, I sold insurance, and I was just paying bills, going to work and paying bills. Like, there had to be more to life than that. I come from a military family. My mother was in the Air Force. She served 23 years. My grandfather, aunts, uncles, family full of military. And so I got that bug around 2003. I joined the Air Force Reserves. I was the only reservist. Everyone else went active duty, but I wasn't quite ready to commit yet. So I joined the reserves as a traditional reservist. Once I put that uniform on and I saw how differently people treated me, I was hooked. I was like, wait a minute. They're all saying, thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do. I was just a regular person before then. When I put that uniform on, things changed for me. And so I figured out how I could do this full time. So I went from a traditional reservist to an Air Reserve technician, and then an AGR. The AGR was it for me. So I was able to wear my uniform every day. I didn't realize that I wasn't patriotic until basic training. It was a coining ceremony. I got that coin in my hand and a tear rolled down my face, and I was like, what is happening to me? I felt patriotic. I felt like I belonged to something bigger than myself. And so many young people in particular don't feel that. So for you, youngsters, I'm gonna call you, you have done a great thing. Go all in. Go all in this. This is something that everyone can't do. Many people want to join and they cannot. So embrace every moment. Embrace every moment. So I got my coin. I found my AGR position. And then I started experiencing some weird symptoms, just out of the clear blue. I was struggling with migraines so bad that I would have to go to the emergency room. And first, it was just once a month, maybe, once every couple of months. And then it got to the point where I was at the emergency room several times a month. And it was debilitating. I couldn't look at my computer. I couldn't do my job. And so I kept trying to push through because that's what we're told to do, push through. And so that's what I did. I got an assignment to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Anybody been there? A couple of hands, okay. I took that assignment to Wright-Patterson, got up there, was excited about a fresh new start. The migraines came back full force. It was totally debilitating. My supervisor tried to help. I started experiencing some additional symptoms. I would have numbness and tingling in my hands, my left side. What is going on? Again, to the youngsters, go and be seen. Do not just push through. Do not ignore things. Go and be seen. All right, so I finally went to the emergency room one time. A doctor was like, I am seeing you too frequently. We need to do something. We need to figure out what's going on. So he referred me to a neurologist. I went to the neurologist. He was like, we're going to do an MRI. Okay. I had no clue what was going on. I wasn't worried about it. No one else seemed to be concerned. I had the MRI. Fast forward 2 months, ran the Air Force half marathon. Everything is still good. I'm passing my fit test, no problem. Still doing my job. Next month, over cheddar biscuits at Red Lobster, I get a phone call about 6 p.m. Now, it's strange when the doctor from the base calls at 6 p.m. I get the call. Sergeant Turner, I need to tell you something. I stepped out. I was celebrating my son's 16th birthday at his favorite Red Lobster, and so I step outside. I go outside. His name was Colonel Nagasawa. He said, I just got your scan back from your MRI. We found lesions on your brain and spine. What does that mean? What on earth are you telling me? I think you have multiple sclerosis. Okay, so I pick my face up off the floor. I go back in and finish my dinner with my kids because that's what you do, especially if you're a mom. I didn't want to mess up his birthday. We go in, we finish the dinner, and then it was just a downhill spiral from there. Anyone here been through a MEB, a medical evaluation board? Yeah, not the funnest thing. So I charge forward, go through the whole process, thinking they're going to keep me. I've been a stellar airman, did all I was supposed to do. No. We're going to force you to retire. I was not prepared. Not by any stretch of your imagination. I was trying to get that Master Sergeant stripe that was sitting on my boss's desk. Well, that's not how it went. They said I had to retire. And so that started a whole chain of events that I had never dealt with before. I talked about the suicide numbers. We know, research shows, plenty of statistics, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation are all huge. We know that abusive substances are a big deal as well. I went through all of that. I went through depression for 6 months. I drank too much. I coped in a negative way until it got to the point where I said, I have to get better. I have a family. I have a mission. I didn't feel like I had a mission before, but I realized I still have a mission. It might not be in my uniform. I might not be able to, be side by side with my battle buddies and everything, but I still have a mission. So I went to counseling. I got the support that I needed, and I retired. And little did I know, all of that time in the military was preparing me to do what I do now. And so when I tell you all that you still have a mission, no matter how old, how young, what your disability or ability, your challenges, no matter what you're going through, you still have a mission. I was able to tap into everything that I learned while I served. All of my training, I used to be horrified of public speaking. You see where I'm at right now. All of the training that I got while I served, the education, they paid for degrees. I volunteered, I made connections. I didn't realize it was preparing me for the next mission that I would have in my life. And so when I tell you all that you still have a mission, you have skills. You have years of experience. You have so much knowledge. There's too many veterans that feel like there's nothing. I retired, there's nothing. You still have so much inside of you. You still have so much to share. You have stories to tell a young airman. You have mentorship possibilities available. There's so much there. You can start a business. There's so much that you can do. So today, I just want you to remember, I still have a mission. You might not be able to run, but you can walk. You might not be able to talk, but you can write. You might be missing a limb, but you are still fully capable. That's what I want you to take away from today. Don't let a disability or challenge impact what you can and can't do. So 4 things I wanted to leave you guys with today. Remember that if you get up, you still have a mission. If you're still here, you still have a mission. It doesn't matter if you can't do what you used to. Take the skills that you had and take them into the future. You still have a mission. I like to say we're all human resources. Regardless of what your career field is, you're all human resources because as someone who serves, you're serving people. That's what we're doing when we put that uniform on. You're serving your country. You're serving your neighbor, your family. You are a human resource. So we are all part of the human resources field. Don't ever minimize what you are able to give and how you are able to serve because you are fully capable. So 4 things I want you to remember. Your mindset. So important to work on your mindset. I talked about counseling. We have to be right. We have to get the support that we need. Without the counseling, without the support, without nourishing your mindset, that's where the negativity comes in. That's where the depression comes in, and those things are strong. And I don't want those suicide numbers to keep increasing. So I'm going to say keep working on your mindset. Get the support that you need. Motivation. If you're lacking motivation, find what motivates you. I never thought health and wellness would motivate me. I did not like to run. I did not like push-ups. I was prissy, like all day. But here I am, and that's what I do. I help people to be their healthiest selves. Mind, body, soul, all of it, finances. So find that thing that motivates you. Don't say, I'm 80 years old and I'm just gonna, no. Find that thing that motivates you. Are you motivated by your grandkids? Are you motivated by your church? Find that motivation and dive in, which is number 3, move. Move on it. Don't just think it. Don't sit on it. Move on it. Take action. Take action. What is that next step? The VA offers so many resources, small business, so many education, training. There's so many resources available to you. You served your time, you wore that uniform, you were separated from your family, you cried tears, you hurt. Take advantage of everything that you've earned. You've earned these benefits, so use them. And last but not least, meaning. You have meaning. My son has a shirt and it says you matter. That's another way of saying you have meaning. Please don't think that just because you're done with your time that you don't have meaning. Take what you've learned. Take the time, the training, the connections, and move forward because you still have a mission. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you inviting me to come, and I love to offer support to all our veterans. Thank you for your sacrifices. Without your sacrifices, I could not be here. So thank you so much.
We have natural gas all over town.
Get yourself a natural gas tankless water heater and save space.
And have endless hot water.
Natural gas is more efficient than electricity.
And it's lighter than air.
When you install natural gas appliances,
you can get rebates up to $1,500.
The City of Dublin will finance you up to $7,500.
For 60 months at 0% interest.
Use natural gas for all your outdoor cooking.
it's a luxury.
We're on call 24/7.
You'll call us and we'll be there.
Whether you're building a home or starting a business, City of Dublin Natural Gas has you covered.
We serve commercial and residential gas all across town.
Yeah! Finish the drill with natural gas. Call your gas guys.
At 478-277-5048.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future. That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
When I was younger, I used to say that there really is no secret to living a happy life. And when I got older, I realized I was wrong about that. And Sergeant Turner just told you what it is. Have a purpose in your life and then pursue that purpose with courage. And that's what our veterans do. And that's why we honor them today. So Sergeant Turner, thank you. Obviously, you've hit your stride there. And if the military taught you those skills, man, that's all right. All right, thank you. All right, folks, next we're going to have a ceremony that we do every year. And we're going to have Mr. James Drury from our Paget Web American Legion Post number 17 come up, and he's going to do the POW MIA Remembrance Ceremony. And this is important to us for a lot of reasons, but not least of which, some of our veterans are here today, and we get to interact with them in the hallways every day, and we can say thank you, but some of our veterans are gone. And some of them, we haven't even closed their stories. That's our MIAs. And so James is going to help us honor them, and we're going to do this every year until as long as this nation lasts, James. So thank you.
Those who have served and those currently serving in the uniformed services of the United States are ever mindful that their sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and imprisonment. We call your attention to the small table occupied in a place of dignity and honor. It is for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred as POW and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families, so we join together to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continuing absence. The table is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to duty. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood that they may have shed to sacrifice to endure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. The rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon on the vase represents the ribbons worn on the lapels of the thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper count of our comrades who are not among us. A slice of lemon is on the plate, remind us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears fallen by the families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is a reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts of a grateful nation. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of the unquenchable spirit. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. The Bible represents strength gained through the faith in our country, founded as one nation, blessed by God, sustain those lost from our midst. The Bible is open to 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 18. Thou shalt be missed because thy seat is empty. Let us pray to the commander of all of our comrades will soon be back within our midst. I now call for a moment of silence in remembrance of the POWs and MIAs. These warriors are saying to you, I wait for you. I know you will come, for we have served. We are kin. We are American warriors. And now I wait, like a whisper that has yet to be repeated. Bring me home. Please take care too, and then I will be remembered. We must all remember that dying for one's freedom isn't the worst that could happen. Being forgotten is. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families.
And they won't be forgotten. That's why we do this every year. So now Jamie and the crew from East Lawrence are going to do another number for us. Folks, before we close out today, I want to say a big thank you to Keith Griffin, our chief for the Center of Development and Civic Engagement, his crew for everything they did getting us together, and my folks, Mr. Greg Swartz, Miss Allison Burnett, everybody up here on the stage, and most of all, I want to thank all of you for coming out and supporting us here and showing your respect for our veterans. But I'm going to give you a little homework. If you don't know, my doctorate is in education, so I'm a teacher by nature. So I'm going to give you some homework. You have a year to do it. Don't worry about it. You got a whole year. I need you to come back next year, and I need you to bring 3 to 5 people with you. And you know where I'm shooting for, the 5, right? Bring people back. If we're going to honor our veterans, remember, when you go out and you attend a child's game or play, or you go to a local restaurant or enjoy a movie, anything you do in this country, You're doing that, you're able to do that because there are people out there on those walls, in the air, on the sea, constantly. They never let up. They're out there defending our interests. They keep the forces of evil and tyranny at bay. And we wouldn't have what we have without them. And that's been 250 plus years, folks. So the best way we can honor them and thank them for what they do is what we do here every year. So please come back next year and bring folks with you. And that is it for our ceremony. Thank you for coming out, and we will see you next year.